Welcome to Edupedia World Videos. This is the course Linux Operating Systems Basics with Vagish Kumar. And right now, what we are doing is VI Editor on Linux. So, till now, we have covered various topics on VI Editor. We have learned the basics of VI Editor, various modes like the insert mode, escape mode, and command mode. And we have also learned the visual mode. So, we have learned some basic and advanced commands in VI Editor. So, you can learn all those by watching our previous videos on VI Editor. In this particular video, what we'll be doing is we'll be learning about VIM Indentation, and this video is particularly for those guys who want to use VI as their source code editor, so who want to write actual programming stuff inside VI editor. This video is very useful for them. Okay, first of all, let us learn about the indentation basics, and then we'll go towards the practical. Okay, so first thing, you have to set a few parameters inside Vim to start indentation. So one thing is, if you want to use auto indentation, you can set auto indent. Okay, straight away go to the command mode by pressing colon and then write set space auto indent and press enter. So it will set the auto indentation on, and then you can set C indent, so that is for C like languages. It will automatically start indenting your code. Then if you want to manually indent your file, then what you can do is you can set the tab stop to 4 and set shift width to 4. So what is the difference between tab stop and shift width? Tab stop is when you manually press tab on your keyboard, it will take you 4 spaces towards the right. Okay, and when you press backspace or shift tab, it will take you 4 spaces towards the left. Okay, so that is what tab stop over here means. Then there is shift width. So shift width is actually used during auto indentation. So when you have set this auto indentation feature, it will indent every line, every new block. Okay, so when you are doing something in a programming languages, you write various blocks of programming, and within the inner code of a block has to start at an indent from the left. Okay, so this we will see practically also what does it mean actually, but programmers I hope will definitely understand it from here. So when you write a new line inside a particular block, it has to begin at an indent from the left side. So here we are setting that indent to 4 spaces. So that depends on how it suits you. You can set it to 2 spaces or maybe 6 or 8 spaces as per your own convenience. Then there is set expand tab. So expand tab is also a command in VI editor, but what does it do is that whenever you press tab, inserting the tab character, it breaks that tab, it expands that tab into individual spaces. So instead of one tab character, it will be inserting 4 spaces. When you have set tab stop to 4, it will insert 4 individual spaces for that. So why this is more useful is because suppose you have started coding on one particular system, okay, one particular Linux system, and there you have set the tab stop to 4. Now you go to some other system and open your code over there. So there the tab stop might not have been set, or it might have been set to some other value. So in that case, your code will each line of your code will not appear to be indented, because either it will just go out of the screen, or it might be too tightly indented or something like that, because tab stop might have a different value on that particular system. So what you can do is you can just ignore tabs and work with spaces. So when you do expand tab, instead of tab it will insert spaces, and since each space will always have 1 character width on every system, your code will never appear to be unindented on any other system. Now equal to is command that you can use when you are on the top of any line. When your cursor is on any line, you just press equal to twice. Okay, it will indent that particular line. And if you want to indent the 10 lines below the current line, so you can just enter 10 and then equal to, so that will indent 10 lines below the current line. So there is a shortcut that I am displaying over here is to indent the complete current line. So you have to press GG. So small g, enter small g twice. We have done this before also in the movement shortcuts in VI editor, so you can refer to that video if you want to learn about more movement shortcuts. So you can use indentation along with movement shortcuts. So when you press small g twice, it will take you to the top of your current file. Okay, then you can press equal to, and then you can press shift G. So shift G is a movement shortcut to move to the bottom of the current line. So now when you move from one point to another point inside VI editor, specifying a command in between. Okay, so first we have pressed GG, then we have pressed a command equal to, which is for indentation, and then we have moved towards the bottom of the VI editor. When we are specifying a command in between and doing some movement, it will execute that VI command throughout all the lines that it encounters in that movement. Okay, so it will indent each and every line of your file using this particular shortcut, because initially take you towards the top, then you press equal to for indentation, and then the very next thing you do is to move towards the bottom. So all the lines in between are indented. Okay, so that you can check. We will check practically also how to do that. So now let us move to our practical window. So this is a putty window where we can do our practical. Now let me open a small C file. That would be somewhere. Okay, so here is our small C file over here. You can see that the code in this particular C file is not indented at all. First of all, what you have to do is you have to set the tab stops. To set this at tab stop, we have learned that it is TS is equal to 4. So this will set the tab stop is equal to 4. Then you have to set width equal to shift width is equal to 4. Okay, and then we also set the expand tab. Set expand tab. Okay, so all these three things that we had discussed in our PPT have been set: tab stop, shift width, and expand tab. So now when we'll indent any line, it will indent that according to. So if you press double equal to on this particular line, it will indent the current line. If I have pressed 2 first and then double equal to, it will indent the following 2 lines. Okay, so it has indented 2 lines below. Okay, now if I press 10 and then double equal to, it will indent the following 10 lines. It is writing also 10 lines indented. Okay, so that is how you can work with indentation. Now simply we can also try our shortcut, which is GG. It will take me to the top as soon as I press GG. Then when I press equal to and press shift G, it will take me to the bottom of the current file, and it will also indent all those lines which are in between of this movement. Okay, similarly what you can do is, if you want to indent all those lines which fall between this particular for loop, okay, you can press equal to shift percentage. So all the movement shortcuts actually can be used for indentation. So equal to shift percentage, pressing this on a bracket, inside a bracket will indent all the lines inside that particular block. Okay, so this was about the indentation. Now let me tell you about the difference between expand tab and no expand tab. So first let me unset expand tab. Set no expand tab will actually insert tab characters when I am indenting. Okay, so what I'll do is just insert tab again, so it will indent the code using tabs instead of spaces. On the top part of it, what I am doing is I am inserting tabs, and on the bottom part I'll leave it as it is with spaces. So now if I search the tab character, okay, I am using / to search, and I am pressing \T, so that is escape sequence for tab. You can see that all this part over here has tab stops. Okay, so that has been indented using the tab stops. Now suppose if I set tab space equal to 8, see what will happen. So all of these lines got shifted by another 4 spaces towards the right. Okay, but all the lines where instead of tab there were spaces remained as such. So tab space setting will only affect the areas where your tab stops have been used. Okay, so this will rather make your code vulnerable for appearing unindented when you take your code from one system to another system where the top setting might be different. To avoid this, what you can do is you can use the expand tab setting. Now what to do if your file already has tab spaces? Well, that is simple. Just use the %s command to replace all the tab spaces, tab stops, by 4 spaces. So in quotation I'll write 4 white spaces, 1 2 3 4. Okay, and I will replace it globally. Why globally? Because inside some lines there might be 2 tab stops, so it actually includes the quotation marks also, so I don't have to write the quotation marks over here. So now it has been replaced. So if I search for a tab space now, I'll not find that. Now what you can do further is use the set expand tab setting. So automatically by when you press the tab character, it will insert spaces instead of tab. Now why it is inserting 8 spaces? Because I set the tab space to 8 earlier, so I'll reset it to 4. Now if I press tab, it will indent my code accordingly. Okay, so that is how you can use VI for easy indentation. Now let us see what is the benefit of auto indentation and how to enable auto indentation. Now suppose in this line, if I write some other code and I add another condition over here which says I is less than 10. Now when I have pressed enter, you can see that it has taken me to the beginning of the next line. It has not taken me somewhere else, but it has taken me to the beginning of the next line. So it has not indented, although if the indentation was enabled, it should have brought me here to this point where I would have inserted a bracket, and then again for the second bracket it should have taken me over here, which was the right place to start the next line to code. Within a particular block, I should move right, okay, by at least 4 spaces to start my code, but it is not doing so. So how to enable this feature? To enable this, set auto indent. So it will set auto indent on, then set C indent. It will also set C indentation on. So now you can see when I pressed enter, it took me just 2 blocks straight away. It took me 2 tab spaces ahead. Okay, if I start coding over here, it will right over here, but if I enter a bracket over here, it will straight away take me to the place where the bracket should be. So bracket should be at the beginning, so it took me over there. Now if I press enter, I write anything over here, I can write it over here. Now when I press again enter, and when I enter the closing bracket, it will automatically take the closing bracket to its right position. So that is the benefit of auto indentation. But now I'll also show you the loss of auto indentation, the drawback of auto indentation. Suppose you copy 10 lines from here. Okay, suppose I copy some text from here and I want to paste it somewhere over here. Now if I go over here and if I paste it, it will paste it in a haphazard way, paste it in an awkward way, which is because it is using the auto indentation setting, and in auto indentation it will paste each line in after a tab stop, and during pasting it does not work well. So how to avoid this thing? So to avoid this thing, what you can do is you have one setting inside VI editor which says SC paste mode. So you can enter paste mode, set paste. So once you enter set paste, it will take you to the paste mode and you can paste your code as it is, but in this case the indentation won't work. So if I write something over here, it will not do the auto indentation. Okay, but if I want to re-enable the auto indentation, what I have to do is I have to write set no paste. So in that case, auto indentation will start working again. So that is during indentation, when you had set auto indentation to on, you have to paste something from externally, copying it. Then you will have to go into the paste mode first by typing set paste, and then you can paste that thing, and then you can again set no paste so that you can start coding using auto indentation. So I hope you understood the indentation, how to use the indentation features of VI editor, and continue to watch the course Linux Operating Systems Basics. Thank you.